So, computer networking, cybersecurity, and Internet of Things. This is the tutorial one. So, let's begin. So, the agendas for today's uh, tutorial are computer networking, cryptography and stenography, cybersecurity and ethical hacking, and IoT. So, starting from the computer networking. So, understanding networking component is very important. How does the internet works? So let's talk about it. So how does a communication actually perform among the devices? It used to take around 4 to 5 days or even more to send a letter from your friend abroad, but you can now send an email to the another person in any country in a matter of seconds. So how is this possible? So let's see the representation. So here is the email we have so we send this email to the email server, and this is the email submission. So it goes to the SMTP relay email server using the port 25, and after that this email service receives and use and the email client receive the email. So how the internet works? So this is the client. So client get site.com HTTP request the server, then the HTTPS response like HTML, CSS, PDF or PNG. So the client will give the HTTPS request by get to any site.com to the server. So and server will HTTPS response the HTML, CSS, PDF or PNG, so the client can see what's happening. So now talking about now going to the cyber security. So cyber security for CS students, cyber crimes and cyber law of Nepal, emerging threats and risk, general awareness. Cyber security for students, cyber crimes and cyber law for Nepal, emerging threats and risks, general awareness. These are the components we will be studying in the cyber security section. So now introducing to ethical hacking. So ethical hacking is so let's see this example. So this is the cyber security domain. It contains a lot of branches. So the ethical hacking comes inside the risk management, penetration, and some. Here this section comes under the ethical hacking comes under the cyber security domain. So penetrating testing, OWASP top 10 vulnerabilities, ethical hacking tools. We will be learning all these four things. So the defense mechanism and the protective measures. So cryptography is also known as encryption algorithm, hashing, public key infrastructure, and digital certificates. These all comes under the cryptography. And this is the stenography. You can see this CNN news when Robertson Al Qaeda hide some important files inside the pawn file documents. So you can see this is the example of stenography. Okay, Now coming on to the Internet of Things. So the connectivity, how the things on internet are connected. So the data, software and the hardware. So any question till now you can comment in the comment section below. So now going into the next slide. So in here the networking fundamental, introduction of networking fundamentals. So we'll be covering now the networking fundamentals, inside of which we will be covering through the topic introduction to network fundamentals, communication models, networking models, networking elements and devices, introduction to different network topologies. Okay, so let's go to the how does internet actually works. Okay, so computer network fundamentals and concepts. So what is the computer network? Okay, what is the computer network? Most heard about the social network. Okay, so think of the social network. In the social network you have the network of people around you, so those people can see and view or comment on your post, like in the Facebook or Instagram. Similarly, the computer network is also the network of these computers, which are also known as nodes. Those nodes are the endpoints. So computer network is a network of computers or the nodes, like the nodes can be any mobile phone or tablet also. So computer networks are the networks of nodes to share for sharing the resources. So the computer network or data network is a telecommunication network which allows computers to exchange data. This is a very good uh, definition of what is computer network. Computer network or data network is a telecommunication network to communicate, which allows computers to exchange the data. So similarly, a system of interconnected devices that can communicate using some standards called protocols. Okay, so these computers are communicating in the computer network or data network using some standard protocols, which are the rules. Okay, so now coming on to the computer networks are mainly divided into three categories. So what are those three categories? So first one is local area network, which is also known as LAN, metropolitan area network, which is also called MAN, and the wide area network, which is also known as WAN. So elaborating each of these category, we have the local area network LAN. So inside of LAN, a communication networks that interconnects devices in a limited area, which is a office or a building, or a house or a apartment or a lab, like this. So inside office we have some of the computers. So these computers are connected in the switches or hub, and then they are connected to the router, then they are connected to the internet. So this communication networks interconnects the devices, limited devices inside a house, office or building, like 2 3 computers, mobile phones, like that, only inside of house or office or building only. So LAN is usually owned by the same organization. uh, this is the common thing. So some of the most popular LAN technologies are Ethernet. By using the Ethernet cable, we can use the LAN technology, and the token ring and FDDI. So these are the other popular technologies for adapting to the LAN technology. So, for example, Wi-Fi or wired network connecting PCs, switches, routers, AP, APs, printers, etc. For example, home networks or Soho networks. So, like this, Wi-Fi network, these LAN may be the wired network or the wireless network connecting some of the PCs using switches, hub, routers. It can connect PCs, some smartphones, printers inside the home networks only, inside an house or buildings. Now, this is a very good picture simulation for the LAN area network. So now going on to the next, which is the wide area network. So in the wide area network, uh, multiple LAN, which are the local area network, are connected to make the wide area network. So this is one organization or one house. So similarly, this is another organization which is New York LAN. This is the Paris LAN and this is LAN of London. So if these three LAN combine together, then it can be referred as the wide area network. So it covers a large geographical area. Okay, it covers the large geographical area. So this can be implemented using circuit switching and packet switching. So circuit switching and packet switching, it can be implemented like this. So what are the circuit switching and packet switching? So circuit switching is just like the uh, telephone line. So where one these important terminologies which are circuit switching and packet switching will be covering in the another. So just think of implemented using circuit switching or packet switching. So this is the example of circuit switching. So inside of circuit switching, what is happening here is one way communication at one time. So in the packet switching, the packets are the data is okay, what we say, the data is divided into packets and it is switched. So we will be describing this packet and the circuit switching in the elaborately in the coming session. So now another thing, significant fraction of network assist is not owned, rather leased. Significant fraction of the network asset is not owned, rather leased. So because of this fraction of network assets, the network so in the wide area network, the network assets like the hardware are not owned, rather they are leased. So now commonly used technologies are point to point PPOE. Okay, these are the routers. These are the basic services which are given by the Nepal Telecommunications and similar to the Warlink, the frame relay, the ATM service, and the X25. So the popular example is the internet. So now coming up to the next, which is the metropolitan area network. MERN is a communication network that interconnects area of few city block or entire city. Okay, this is as simple. So this MERN communication network interconnects between the cities or the entire city. The, the scope of MERN is larger than LAN and smaller than WAN. Okay, you can think like that. So the metropolitan area network is smaller than the WAN because that is the wide area network. And a private cloud could be the one of its example. The most technologies used are asynchronous transfer mode, which is the ATM, fiber distributed data interface (FDDI), and the metro Ethernet. So the example of metropolitan area network are networking between banks in a city, table cable. So now coming up to the next, which is the communication model. So in the communication model, how it's work are there is a source system and there is the destination system. So to transmit the data from the source system to the destination system, there is a transmission system. So the source system again consists of source and the transmitter. So the source is the device and it has the transmitter to transmit it to the transmission system, and in the destination system, it has the receiver to receive and it is received in the destination system. So further discussing about that, so this is the real life example. So we have the workstation PC or laptop. So it goes to the transmitter, which is the modem, and it goes to the transmission system, which is the public telephone network, which is and it so after that in the destination system it has the modem to receive it. So modem works. So here also modem. So the modem is stands for modulator demodulator. So it converts the electric signals to the uh, signals to the network signals and network signals to the electric signal, and gets received to the server. So moving on to the next one, we have the source. This device generates the data to be transmitted. Examples are telephones and personal computers, laptops, mobile phones, smartphones, etc. So next is the transmitter. Transmitter transform and encodes the information. Okay, transmitter transform and encodes the information in such a way as to produce electromagnetic signals. Okay, it produces transmitter produces electromagnetic signals that can be transmitted across some sort of transmission system. So the transmission system, signal this can be single transmission line or a complex network connecting source and destination. This is the transmission system. So again, so the receiver in the receiver system, the receiver accepts the signal from the transmission system and converts into a form that can be handled by the destination device. So the destination takes the incoming data from the receiver and acknowledges it. So now inter internetworking models. So OSI models and TCP IP models. So the OSI stands for Open System Interconnection. It has been developed by ISO, International Organization of Standardization, in the year 1974. Similarly, TCP/IP model, it is designed and developed by the Department of Defense (DoD) in 1960s and is based on standard protocols. It stands for Transmission Control Protocol Internet Protocol. So these are the two internet routing models. So most important, two two internet routing model: the open system interconnection, which is developed by the ISO, International Organization of Standardization, in 1974, and the TCP/IP model, which is also known as Transmission Control Protocol Internet Protocol, developed by the Department of the Defense (DoD) in 1960s, which is based on standard protocols. So we will be discussing about these in the later lectures. So now moving on to the next slide, what we have here is computer networking and elements. So 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 in this, so these are the so when when anything is sent from sender, these 7 layers, the data goes through these 7 layers. Okay, like this. This is the send. So let me pick up my pen. So every time when anything is anything is sent, why it is not working? Pen is not working. So the ink color, I think this. So why? Oh, okay, now working. Let me erase all the ink on slide now. So every time we send anything, okay, it gets sent like this, it gets sent like this. So in the application layer, so first of all it goes to the application layer, this is the one, and then it gets to the presentation layer, and then it goes to the session layer. So these 3 layers are the software layers. Okay, these 3 are the software layers. So after that there is a important transport layer, which is the heart of OSI. So what it does is, so this whole is in the OSI model. So this out of OSI model there is a transport layer. So after that there are the hardware layers, which contains the network layer, data link layer, and the physical layer. So in the OSI model, this by this, so let me again erase all things. So in the OSI model, the sender's data gets sent like this. Okay, from the software layers to the heart of OSI, which is the transport layer, and then to the hardware layer, which are the network. So corresponding to that, the software layers are application layer, presentation layer, and session layer. Then the heart of OSI transport layer, then the network of so then in the hardware layer there is a network layer, data link layer, and the physical layer. So similarly in the TCP IP model, what is here is, so there are less layer than the OSI model layer. So there is application layer. So same condition while receiver. So let's talk about the receiver. In the receiver, what it gets, it gets to the network layer, then the internet layer, then the transport layer, and the application layer. So like this. Similarly in this also, like this. So this is the basic layering of the two of the important models, which are open system interconnection model and the transmission control protocol model, internet protocol. So after less one, so let's clear this ink. Let's go to the next slide. So the common networking elements and devices, we are talking about the common networking devices or the elements. So the first one is repeaters or hops, then the bridge, then the switches, then the routers, then the gateways, firewall, firewalls, wireless access points, networking interface. Okay, this is the router. So now repeaters of or hops. Now talking about the repeaters or the hops, what are those? So what are those? The repeaters is a electronic. So the repeater, so let me have the laser pointer. So the a repeater is an electronic device that receives or network signals, cleans it of unnecessary noise, and regenerates it. A hop is a multi-port repeater like this. Okay. Nice. So no filtering and no addressing works on physical layer like this. So now talking about the bridge. A network bridge connects and filters traffic between two network segments. So this works on data link layer and only transmits signals if destination address is available to outgoing port. So like this is the hub. Okay, hub connects the two systems using the Ethernet straight through cables. So those two hubs are connected using the bridge. So next, this is the example of bridge. So this also maintains the traffic signals and elongate the network, differentiate collision domains, so do not handle the broadcasting, and slower than the switch as it uses software for switching. One incoming and one outgoing port in the bridge. So next talking about the switches. So a device that forwards and filters datagram frames between ports based on the destination MAC address in each frame. So application is specified integration circuit ASIC. Filtering is done, maintains the MAC table, works on data link layer. Now talking about the routers. So this is the symbol of the router. This is the router. So an inter-networking device that forwards packets between networks by processing the routing information including in the packet or datagram. So controls the collision domain and the broadcast domain. Works on network layer, supports network, supports routing protocols, maintains routing table for routing. So next up is firewalls. System designed to prevent unauthorized access to or from the private network. So can be hardware or software used to prevent unauthorized users from accessing private networks. Tech techniques. So this is the firewall. So the technique: packet filtering, application gateway, circuit level gateway, proxy server. Prevents harm from getting in or out of the network. Wireless access points acts as a communication hub for users of wireless device to wired network. Can be hardware or software. Extends physical range of service a wireless user has access to. Provides heightened security. So next one is gateway. Controls different networks, combination of hardware and the software. It works on network and all layers above network layer, mostly works on application layer. Next up is network interface. The network interface controller NIC card is a computer hardware that provides a computer with the ability to access the transmission media and has the ability to process low-level network information. So next one is network topologies. The topology is a map of a network. A physical topology of network describes the layout of the cables and workstations and the location of all network components. Defines how the information or data flows within the network. There are four most common topologies: the bus topology, star topology, ring topology, and the mesh topology. So the ring topology, So ring topology work like this in the if while connecting to the different nodes. So the each computer is connected directly to two other computer in the network. Data moves down a one-way path. So data moves down a one-way path from one computer to another computer like this. So if the data has to send to the from device 1 to device 6, so this is the unidirectional topology. So any break such as adding or removing a network computer disrupt the entire network. So another one is bus topology. So bus topology at the one bidirectional medium. Okay, the laser printer. So that this device can access to this. Also, this computer also access can the access this server as well. So all computers are attached to a single continuous cable that is terminated at the both end. So this is the continuous cable that are in which all the computers are attached. So it is the simplest way to create physical network. Originally, computers were attached to the cable with a wire tabs. So next one is star topology. So in the star topology, the nodes are connected like that. So computers in a star topology is connected to a central point by separate cable or wire connections. So the central point is a device known as such name like hub, switch, or AP. So the star topology is much more fault tolerant than the bus topology because anything goes wrong with the medium line in the bus topology uh, breaks the whole communication. So star topology is much more fault tolerant than the bus topology. So it work like this. So if this node is not working, it does not affect the other nodes to work. Okay. So similarly, the most popular for the small business which have the different alternative nodes connected to each of the computers or nodes, the mesh topology. The path exists from one station to every other station in the network. So this computer is connected to so this computer is always connected to all of the three computers. So this is connected to this is connected to this is connected to. Similarly, these computers is also connected with all other computers. This all the three other computers. So every computers are interconnected to every other connections of node in the network. So the mesh. So this is the hybrid mesh. So mesh with the if there is more so this is the one mesh with the yellow color, this blue, this green. So this when the mesh are when two or three mesh are connected with each other, then it is called the hybrid mesh and is used on the internet and other WANs in a limited fashion. So the hybrid mesh topology network can be multiple connection between some location which is done only for redundancy. So how to so the next is how to select the topology. So we select the topology on the basis of cost, on the basis of ease of installation, ease of maintenance, and cable fault tolerant. Looking on the thinking of the fault tolerance also. So now how does an ISP network works? So ISP network how does it works are so basically we have here the Android TV, laptop, smartphones. These are connected to the routers. Okay, so routers. So the TV is connected with the Ethernet cable which is the wired communication, and the two laptops and the phone is connected with the radio waves known as Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity. So after that, from the router it is connected to the line which are in the poles of those black boxes type things. So after that it goes to the fiber to home. Data travels along the wired network. So this is the working mechanism of wired. It goes to the server room of that wired, and it gets now go to these lines to the wired server, and the server get access from the internet like this. This is the whole mechanism how the internet service provider network. So next one is uses of computer network. So what are the uses of the computer network? So computer network are used for sharing printers like this, for example. So these all PCs and laptops are sharing the same laser printer, so sharing the hardware resources. So similarly sharing the software. So basically computer network is for resource sharing. All programs, equipments like printers, projectors, monitors, and especially data is available to anyone on the network, which are on the network, without regards to the physical location of the resource and the user, without uh, without the without the burden of the physical location. Okay, physical location of the resource or the user. So similarly, uses of computer networks. Uses so the second so the uses of computer network, the client server communication. So how the client server client communication or the client server communication work is like this. Client get uh, request the HTTPS request to the World Wide Web service, and it gets to the web server and gives the HTTPS response in the form of HTML, CSS, PDF, anything. So this is the client server communication architecture works. So the computer network business applications. So the communication medium are email, electronic mail, video conferencing, and for the e-commerce also. These are the business applications where the computer network is being used effectively. So the Amazon, eBay, Dara. So similarly, in the computer networks, home applications, some of the most important use of the internet for home users are as follows: for the YouTube, Facebook, Viber, Netflix, Twitter, Instagram, Messenger for messaging, Daraz for online shopping. This is the e-seva for online payment, YouTube for videos. This is the social media. This is for messaging. This is the messaging app. This is also the messaging app. This is Instagram, Netflix for watching videos. So the access to remote information, to access to the remote information, person to person communication, interactive entertainment like Netflix, electronic commerce like Doraz, and for the online payment the e-seva, computer networks, mobile users. Okay, now the use now other uses of computer network. So what are the other uses of computer network? The first one is the data sharing, which we, the resource sharing or the data sharing, instantaneous sharing of information, the real-time sharing, messaging, real-time instantaneous sharing of information, collaboration, streamlined business processes, flexibility, Resource sharing. Now computer networks are used for all voice, video, data. So what is the future of computer network? So future of so what are the new upcoming things with the computer network? The 5G network and the supported application, SDN microservices architecture, the 4D network. These are the future. So you can search these keywords. So these will be the uh, future. These are the future of the computer network. So thank you for the session. Thank you for stitching up with me. So uh, if you have anything with this video, with this tutorial, you can comment in the comment section below. You can like this video, subscribe this video, and share to anyone which are interested in networking, computer networking. This is the full tutorial on how networking on the computer network. So I will see you in the next tutorial about the computer networking. This is the introductory. So I will be coming up with the next tutorial. So until then, see you.